Okay, this is one of the banked turns. This is the back side. I have laid out every 5 degrees where I'm going to put a relief cut with my skill saw. I've drawn them. So I'm going to cut them like 3/8 of an inch deep, halfway through the board on every one of these 5-degree marks, all the way around. And that will allow me to bend this piece of material and make a bank out of it. Alright, what we're going to do this morning, we've got the radius. I've marked off every 5 degrees. I'm going to set the saw 3/8 of an inch to cut halfway through the MDF, and I'm going to cut relief cuts in it. So let's see, I need to set my saw first. Here we go. Alright, here's my first joint connecting a radius and a section of straightaway here. There's my section of straightaway. Drop some water on there, that's not good. Get that up. This is my first section of straightaway coming down the back here, joining into this big curve. What I did is I have a biscuit joiner right here. And some biscuits, wooden biscuits, number 10 size. I cut 5 places for the biscuits to go. Okay. Put a piece of wax paper under it so it won't stick to the table. Wiped my glue into the joints and on the biscuits. Put them together. These are just 2 scrap pieces of wood here of MDF. Screwed to the table, and I've got clamps. I pulled them up, lined everything up, and have gonna let it sit there and dry. And that'll be my first joint, and each joint will be done the same way. Okay, I'm gonna install the biscuits and make this joint. I've already cut my slots with the biscuit joiner. Now I'm going to put some glue on each edge. And I'll put glue on the biscuits. Whoops, don't want to do that. Keep it off of there. We can wipe the excess off of it here in a minute. Got a piece of wax paper. This one, this is the bridge going over the other piece, so I've got it jacked up 3/4 of an inch. Just what does he say? No mistakes, just creative something or another. The artist guy. Anyway, oh, we're out of glue. Let's get a little more glue in the cup. Be careful with this glue. Any that you get on the track, be sure and wipe it off with a damp rag. And don't get a whole lot of excess water on the MDF because it'll swell up. I guess you know that though. Like I say, I got a piece of wax paper down here to keep it from dripping. It's gonna ain't no getting around it. I'm gonna get some on my fingers. I've already put my scrap pieces of wood on here, and I'm going to make my clamp that I'm going to use to clamp it together. And so when I get these biscuits in there, I'll be ready to clamp. Like I say, they're just scrap pieces of wood, and I've got just some sheetrock screws in there temporarily. I know I had to drill into the track to put them on there, but I've got places I'm going to come back after I'm done and put a little Bondo in there and dress them up. Alright, let's get a paper towel and wipe all this excess glue off. I use a lot of paper towels. Oh, got a couple of spots there with glue on it. Keep up. That happens to be a round bottle, but any kind of a pump bottle, keep water in it. Alright, let's see what we got now. Let's join it together. Let's see what we got here. A lot of clamps. What does Norm Abrams said? You can't have too many clamps. Let's see. biggest problem I found with this building this track is it didn't come with any instructions, so everything I'm doing, I'm just pretty much having to wing it. We're drawing it up pretty good. Check, make sure my lanes are lined up, and they're not, so I'm going to have to make an adjustment here. Keep this glue wiped up. Alright, let's go this way. Dang, that's pretty close there. Not enough though, let's go a little more. Let's see. Well, that's pretty close right there. That's pretty close. That'll do. I'll have to, a couple of spots, you know, not building watches here, so I've got a couple of little places I might have to come back in here with a utility knife, and this one looks pretty good here. So I have another one that I had to, I'm going to have to go back in there and trim it a little bit. Couple of thousandths, but all right, that looks pretty good there. Put another clamp on it right here in the middle. Ah, sticky on my fingers. Don't put an excess amount, just pull it up good and snug. Like I say, if you have some places later on, you can always come back and put a little Bondo in it and sand it down. On the Bondo, remember, all that you put on excess, you're going to have to sand off. So, alright, one more thing. I've got a little 1/8 of an inch stick here. I come in here and knock any glue out of the slots that there. Voila, another joint. What I'm doing is I'm putting the two radiuses, the 8 that are going to bend. As you can see, it's what I'll do is tomorrow when I got help and this dries, pull it together and it'll bow up. So okay, I know this is not a pretty sight here, but this is my straps that I have installed to bend the MDF board, get my radiuses and my corners. And it's not the finished shape, but it's in place. So that's the bridge right there. It's not up high enough, but anyway, this with the piece there, this one here's got to go down. So anyway.